we're going to be inviting a friend of mine, a mentor. She's also a well-known person. She is an influencer, a IFSEC influencer, top influencer. She has been able to bring capacity building to girls around Nigeria. She has created initiatives that has helped curb cybercrime right from its own roots. She has given to the community immensely her time, effort. You can mention as much. She has tried for the community, and I can say this for a fact because I've worked with her very well, and I've seen a kind of determination to actually building community and building capacity. Yeah. So, like I was saying, she's an award winner from the Young CISOs Award. She is also the founder of the CyberSafe Foundation. Please make welcome Confidence Staveley. It's Confidence Online.
Yes, I am. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Toby. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Confidence.
That was such a really warm welcome, and I am very, very excited to be here. It was a no-brainer when Moses reached out to me and said I should speak here. I just knew I had to be here. But I want to begin by first saying I really apologize for not being able to make it in person physically. I absolutely wanted to come, but Moses knows that I have a personal event tomorrow, one I have never done in my life. So I'm unable to travel and come back for it. So that's why I couldn't be physically in Abuja. But I'm excited to be sharing virtually. And if the host can let me share my screen, I will put on my presentation now and begin to share. I want to say that almost everyone in the room is Nigerian because my presentation is really tailored to the youth. So it's going to be very, very, you may laugh while we're at it, but I mean, that's my style of communicating as well. I want to say very serious things and seriously. So please pardon me if you find this a bit too playful. That's just my style. Please, can I share, because I'm still disabled from sharing my slides. Any chance that can happen? But while that is getting to happen, I'm just going to introduce my topic really quickly because I have just 10 minutes and I really want to stay within the time allotted. Great, thank you so much. I think it's just been fixed. I've been made co-host so we can get cracking. Yes. So I don't know how many of you have seen this image, but this is a Yahoo Boys school or academy that was found recently by the EFCC, and everybody here was arrested. But it begs to question quite a lot of things. I mean, I have written articles about online academies that teach people about fraud, very in the open web, and when I started finding them out, it was quite fascinating for me because I thought to myself, I mean, how can you be teaching people how to commit crime and it's openly accessible? But today I'm excited to be speaking about, how cybersecurity can checkmate the Yahoo narrative, and more importantly, how you can contribute to making this happen as a cybersecurity professional coming into or just starting out in the profession. We also all know this guy, but I want to share a bit about how the Yahoo narrative is impacting everyone. The rain is falling and is on every roof as far as you're Nigerian. I recently was invited to speak at a global conference. You will get to hear about the conference maybe in a month or two from now. It's going to be happening in two cities, one in Europe and another one of the same event in America or in the Americas. And during the audition, I mean, they're paying me well to come in and speak. But during the auditions, while they were speaking to me and trying to assess, if they'll be happy to have me on board. I mean, now the dotted lines are signed and I have a contract with them. But this is the biggest standard. One of the biggest standards in the world of cybersecurity globally. And here was I speaking about, auditioning with them around this speaking engagement. And they asked me a question after everything. They're like, oh, with all due respect, whenever anybody says with all due respect, expect an insult after the all due respect. So they said, oh, tell us about the 491. I'm like, no, it's not 491, it's 419. So they're also, okay, tell us about, does it also, do they also target people living in Nigeria? So in the middle of all my fantastic cybersecurity conversations, I was still pulled back to the fact that I am Nigerian and there will still be a stigma for what our brothers are doing and how that is harming us. You're paying me a lot of money to come and speak at your event, but you're still asking me about fraud, which goes to show that we still are facing the stigma. And I sometimes try to step back and think about it from their perspective. And I think that helps them balance things out. Because look at what the US Treasury is doing. They've currently put 6 Nigerian criminals on their most wanted cyber criminal list. This face, for example, looks very familiar. If you don't know this face, I mean, you should read about him, honestly. And this is one of the people that have been arrested. But this particular crime, has been reported to cost $2.5 billion in terms of losses tied to Nigerian originating cybercrime in 2020. I can tell you that this number, I think, doubled in 2021, given what happened during COVID. So you see that this is a crime that, if you want to empathize with them, you could also look at the fact that our brothers are just doing us dirty and causing us all to go with the disrepute that comes with it. And the narrative that comes with it, and say, people saying, oh, we are just taking back what the white people stole from us. That is a narrative that is very laughable. Because why didn't we take back the artifacts if you want to put it from that angle, And it is a narrative that we have deceived ourselves with, because even us, while I was responding to that question, I was also telling them that we are also victims of the same crimes. So it is, whether or not we're even victims of the same crimes, how does that even make sense? That our whole trade as a nation, as a continent, is impacted by the bad repute that our brothers bring us. And I want to assume that there's nobody in this room who will be in that line, because there's so many consequences to it. And I've called 2.5 billion, and it looks like it's a lot of money. But those are the reported cases alone. There are so many more that have not been reported. And there's so much more that, is happening. So I'm going to ask you, it shock you, but what are we going to do about it? As a cybersecurity professional, how does that impact you? And how can you change this narrative? I also want to bring us away from, away from, say, America, into other parts of the world as well, say Europe. Now, in 2021, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence released a report revealing that Russia has outsourced its disinformation campaigns to local hackers from countries including Nigeria. So you see, the threats are not just, the ones that have to do with financial benefits directly gained in terms of stealing monies from victims directly. We also have a lot of bad actors that are driving disinformation in Europe. And again, there are stats and there's intelligence to prove this. So I like to say we're in disguise, in many ways, we're in disguise for disinformation, we're in disguise to scam people, we're in disguise in many ways, and these are the issues and many more that I would like to bring to your attention. And because of that, nobody above blocking, they are blocking us. Recently I tried to shop with DSW and I can see some people laughing, sorry, nobody above blocking really. If you don't comment on my post, I block you. Even I block you. Today now, it is not about that, it is about the fact that we can't access many services. Why do I need to shop at DSW and I have to use a VPN? It's because Nigerians have increasingly been tied to cybercrime. But people in this room that are listening to the sound of my voice, we all need to stand up to help to curb this menace and stand up for something more positive. So while nobody above blocking, we also need to realize what the full impact is on us. Now, given the high volume of fraud originating from Nigeria, the de facto solution for many companies today has been blacklisting suspicious accounts originating from the country, or training machine learning models using limited data that biases against Nigerian users. And I'm going to speak about the opportunities around this as well. Let's say, for example, Binance. I don't know if you've seen the tweets that were going on at that time, but they reportedly blocked 281 Nigerian cryptocurrency accounts in January 2022, just this year, because I think I recently saw those tweets. And what they were saying, they were citing anti-money laundering measures. And in the middle of all of that, innocent people trying to gain an income from cryptocurrency, were caught up in that whole crossfire. PayPal, we will all know that PayPal, you can't be in Nigeria and receive money. They've banned Nigerian users from receiving money, and we know why. Love scams, People are saying, I love you, and collecting money, but they're in a base, all of those gists, still tied to our brothers, in quotes. Proof Points, for example, has also used linguistic styles to identify Nigerian threat actors based on email activity. Now, in 2021, also, a Merchant Risk Council report said 24% of all global merchants claim to use block lists to handle fraud, while 18% use geographical indicators or global location data. So that means that just being in Nigeria will block you from at least 24% of global merchants' access. Isn't that disheartening enough? Guys, ladies, because yes, there are many ladies in cybersecurity, we have to do something about this. And we have a unique advantage. Do we want to create more hush puppies, or do we want to create more Moseses? Today, Moses, I want to say I'm really proud of you as to what you're doing, because what you're doing is telling a different story, is creating an opportunity for people to be inspired. I mean, you have told me what my job description is today, is to show us another way, right? But the other way I want to show us is definitely not the hush puppy way. Hush puppy is a national embarrassment, and no matter what you want to say. See, there is nothing like the freedom of earning a genuine income. If I stand up today and I say I want to go to Canada, I will go. If I say I want to go to America, I will go to America. If I say I want to go to London, it's just to buy flight tickets. There's a visa, I will go. The freedom of doing that, you don't understand. The freedom of living life fully on a genuine income can never be overstated. But there are people I know that can't wake up and go to America because they're afraid that if they're stamping them, they look at their records, they can bab them from the airports. We all know about somebody who was in government as a special advisor that went to America and didn't come back. Right now, he has pleaded guilty. Why? It's scam. So they're also knowing in their own quarters that if you're going to America, be clean. So look at it. Is that the kind of life you want to live? You want to be able to make your little money or big money and spend it with freedom. Also, I want to highlight your own advantage. What is the advantage that you have? The advantage you have is that you're Nigerian. You understand how hush puppy thinks. You have a hush puppy thinking board for a good reason, for a good side of things, which means you can be valuable to organizations. There is a thinking that you can bring to the board that can get people like hush puppy to be in the radar of cybercrime prosecutors and get them pinned for their crimes. You also have an advantage of a talent shortage globally that can position you for opportunities that you otherwise will not be positioned for. So I want to call you to that consciousness of your unique advantage. As I've spoken about all of the disadvantages of being Nigerian and being in Nigeria and whatever it is, that even as a cybersecurity professional, as I am right now, with all of the accolades I've gotten and global recognition I've gotten, I still am faced in those rooms where, I am still questioned about fraud. And I want to charge us all to Sorosoke. It is not enough to speak about police brutality only. That is not the only reason it is Sorosoke. Speak, use your voice in your different angles, social media, in your sphere of influence, the boys doing these things. Get them to be on the right side. speak about how cybercrime can be curbed. What are the things people can do? Join communities that are driving awareness about cyber fraud and how it's happening. Use your knowledge and share it publicly so people can learn from you. Because the world is waiting to hear from you on your analysis on the newest crimes, the newest way cyber criminals are doing this. And these are things you can use your cybersecurity skills to gain. You can be in dark forums for the only reason of getting this data and sharing it with the outside world to understand what's happening and how people can stay protected. You can join closed groups as investigative reasons to share knowledge as well. These are all things that we can continue to do, but use your voice we must at this point. And a lot of people say, cut soap for me. I am right now going to cut soap for you. How are you going to make some of the monies and get some of the benefits that we spoke about earlier on, the ambassador spoke about earlier on? By the way, I want to also give a big shout out to Ambassador Shegun. He's doing an amazing job, and I am opportune to be one of the founding board members of the NCS. And I again invite you, I want to say a big well done to Ambassador Shegun and the minister as well that's supporting this initiative. But cut soap for you we must, because it is you and I, because I'm not an old person though. If I want people speaking, you should know that I'm very young, but it lies on our shoulders to clean up the mess, to make something out of this mess for ourselves. And these are the opportunities I'll be sharing. I believe that there is great opportunity in finding intersection between cybersecurity, AI, data analytics, and fraud prevention. That particular intersection is a gold mine because a lot of organizations are trying very, very frantically to stop cyber fraud. There's also a part of cyber fraud analysis and prevention. So there are many opportunities. There's now cyber fraud analyst opportunities coming up in even Nigerian organizations, driving a lot of this employment. So I saw an opportunity recently, Flutterwave. I saw another one, another organization, but there are many people hiring now for cyber fraud analysis. Find out what skill set they're looking for and jump in. It's a part of cybersecurity we're not talking about enough, but see, anything that concerns money, everybody puts money inside. That's the truth. Sorry, I don't know if you don't understand Pidgin, you're on your own, but but I'm just saying that anything that has to do with financial loss, which is one of the issues that cyber fraud directly targets, would have a lot of financial commitment, and this is something that you can jump on. I believe that technical writing is also a skill that you should hone in this regard because it will really require it. For the investigation and writing, I put out only one piece. I think one of my best pieces around on LinkedIn is around fraud investigation. And there's some that honestly, if I had more time, I will write more on because there's a lot I know about it. But this is where you can come in. I can't do everything. In fact, no single individual, no single organization can do everything. And that's where you come in. This is an opportunity for you to also position yourself to get noticed, for employment, for just about any opportunity. So write fraud investigation pieces, also some, put them out and show your knowledge and showcase your knowledge. And if you're struggling with finding a job, this can be a hack. Use LinkedIn very well for this. If forensics interests you, I think you can also narrow your focus as well to apply it to fraud, cyber fraud, and really see how that helps you. You can volunteer also, for example, and help, with post-incident analysis and forensics as well in this regard with cybercrime litigating organizations or investigating organizations. But what stops us from actually building our own Nigerian cybersecurity solutions? Would it be such a joy? See that the nation that, so much is originating from in terms of cyber fraud, is beginning to also drive solutions towards it, novel solutions. I see Dr. Bright here. Hello, Dr. Bright. It's nice to see you. So, but it'd be also very nice to see that we are also generating the solutions to meet the request or demands of the outside world around curbing cyber fraud. But yeah, this is where I call it a day. It go be, we are going to keep seeing each other, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I don't know if I have time for questions, sorry. But yes, I want to charge us all to go to the good side of things, a lot of opportunities to make money and to make a good name for ourselves and our country, because freedom there's no price tag to it. And right now, with all of the cracking down is happening, really, you shouldn't be in that side of things. And aside being cracked down or maybe being arrested or not arrested, we should do the right thing, because the right thing does pay and gives peace of mind. Thank you very much to the Cyber Starters Conference for giving me this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you.